Tonight, Minnesota mask mandate. Governor Tim Walz issues an executive order requiring face coverings in public.
And zero COVID cases. We take you to the only county without a case of the coronavirus in Minnesota, how they're keeping it out.
Plus, a 100-day plan. Duluth's new superintendent lays out his objectives for his first 3 months on the job, how he's planning to move the district forward.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Mask up, Minnesota, because starting Saturday morning, you will be required to wear a face covering in indoor public places all throughout the state.
Governor Tim Walz made the announcement this afternoon. CBS 3's Ryan Combo joins us live with more on what will be required. Ryan.
Kristen, Tony, good evening to you both. Starting Saturday, masks will be required inside all public indoor areas around the state of Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz says this is the best interest for the state to keep as many people safe and save as many lives as possible. The new order is extensive and lays out specific guidelines for when mask wearing is and is not mandatory. As we said earlier, masks will be mandatory in indoor public businesses, on public transportation, and for workers outdoors who cannot stay 6 feet away from customers. Masks will not be required when at home, in your car, or outside. Face coverings will be allowed to be removed when seated at a table at a restaurant or bar. Those with health concerns and children under 5 are not required to wear masks. Walz believes wearing masks will allow us to get back to normal faster.
I think it is very possible for us to not have the darker days behind us, but for us to start moving forward. If we can get a 90 to 95% compliance, which we've seen the science shows, we can reduce the infection rates dramatically, which slows that spread and breaks that chain.
Governor Walz also said that 4 million masks are being distributed across the state in an effort to make sure everyone can comply. Now, penalties for not wearing a mask include a misdemeanor citation and a fine of $100. Walz added during his press conference that police will be out looking for an educational opportunity instead of handing out just tickets. Today's statewide mandate also comes after some cities like Duluth and Cloquet most recently made mandates across their respective cities.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
A federal judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by 24 Wisconsin residents. The lawsuit challenged a number of local stay-at-home orders aimed at stopping the spread of COVID-19. The judge claimed those who filed the lawsuit did not properly join all of the defendants into a single lawsuit. The judge says that mistake requires the lawsuit to be dismissed, but it can be refiled.
The second day in a row, Duluth Fire has issued a red flag warning. That means conditions at the Park Point Beach are too dangerous for swimming regardless of your experience. The warning is in effect through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And Dave's here for a quick look at the weather. Dave, after a not so pleasant start to the day, it turned out to be a pretty nice evening.
Yeah, and that's going to lead us to a pretty decent Thursday. So on that note, let's wrap up that cloudy and rainy Tuesday that we faced around our region. Most towns came up in the range of a ½ to 1.5 inches, although some places were a little less and others were up to 1 inch more. Keewatin, 1.5 inches, Grand Rapids there as well, 1 inch for Cloquet, and close to 1 inch in Moose Lake, 3/4 for Foxborough. Guile did almost 3/4 as well. Ashland and Bovee, a ½ inch. We get a rest from rain tonight and tomorrow, but by Friday, it could come back once again as our high pressure system that'll keep us dry through Thursday goes away, and that new low pressure system comes to call for Friday, increasing clouds and then bringing weekend shower and storm chances. But Thursday could be a very pleasant day. The pick of the litter, partly cloudy most of the day, high temp around 73. That's still cooler than normal, but we're getting closer to normal. And once we get to normal, we'll go over it again for the weekend. The heat wave could return. I'll talk about it a little bit later here in the newscast.
Thanks, Dave. Lake of the Woods County in northern Minnesota is one of the only places in the tri-state area with no reported cases of COVID-19. Resort officials around the county's lake attribute low population in a rural area as a benefit for keeping the virus out. CBS 3's Emma Quinn reports.
Lake of the Woods, also known as the walleye capital of the world, has been to this date COVID-free. Those around the tourist prominent area say resident population is a major factor.
We have a lot of land, and as we kid around, we probably have more more deer than we have people.
Others say residents have been strictly following local and state guidelines.
Precautions that everyone is taking, and I know everyone is using masks that I am aware of, and the general health conduct protocols we're taking as well.
Lake of the Woods County Sheriff's Office says the county has come together to keep everyone safe. Those who work at resorts on the north side of the lake say the closure of the Canadian border has also kept a rush of tourists out of the area.
And the only way to drive to the northwest angle is to travel through Canada and then enter back into Minnesota.
But with less tourists comes less business, especially for Flag Island Resort.
We are down 75% in cabins.
As much as business may be hurting, locals say the precautions bring peace of mind.
General concern is definitely high. I mean, we have some workers here that have some health issues, and we definitely do not want to get them sick.
Governor Tim Walz's announcement Wednesday afternoon puts in place a statewide mask mandate. Another factor residents hope will keep COVID out of their home.
They can just put it on the state and say, you know what? I'm sorry, it's a state law right now that everybody wears a mask, state mandate, and we have to enforce that.
Lake of the Woods County Emergency Management is working with CHI Lakewood Public Health and Hospital to monitor any new developments. Well, a heads up for folks on the Iron Range, you can get a free COVID-19 test in the area next week. The two-day drive-through style testing event will be held at the St. Louis County Fairgrounds in Chisholm. You can stop by between noon and 7 p.m. on Tuesday or 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Wednesday. You are not required to have symptoms to be tested, but you are encouraged to register in advance. We have a link on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
Michigan biotech company Iontix is developing COVID-19 antibody testing kits. Chief Science Officer James McKim says the tests are blood tests looking for evidence that someone might have been exposed to the virus in the past by identifying antibodies specific to the coronavirus. McKim says his team is working with Western Michigan University's School of Medicine to test the product using clinical samples from COVID-positive patients. He added that a key to managing the virus is tracking community immunity.
Our test tells you if you've been exposed to that virus. So after a patient gets better, the population as a whole starts to build immunity, and we need to be able to understand what percentage of our population has immunity and how long that immunity lasts.
McKim says they are rolling out the test kits to clinics and hospitals across Michigan. One kit can test up to 152 people, with results coming in about 6 hours.
A new survey shows a recent decrease in vaccinations of children and teenagers throughout Minnesota. The study comes from the Minnesota chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. It states there is a 30 to 40% decrease in vaccines of kids and a 40 to 50% decrease in adolescents. The study states the decrease is due to fears of visiting a medical office during the pandemic. Pediatricians say it's important to keep up with immunizations.
Whether your child is in school or at home, your child is probably going out and interacting with the community, even if it's going out and interacting with other kids on the street. Whether or not you're in a classroom, you are exposed to people from whom you could potentially get vaccine-preventable disease.
Dr. Karsten says St. Luke's is taking precautions like cleaning rooms, wearing masks, face shields, and gowns to provide a safe visit for patients needing vaccines.
Michigan lawmakers are approving proposals to dip into state cash reserves and make budget cuts. It's part of the plan to help address a $2.2 billion budget hole caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Lawmakers approved plans in a committee today that included signing off on an executive order from Governor Gretchen Whitmer that cuts nearly $667 million from the budget by reducing funding to state agencies. State budget officials say the state will draw $350 million from the rainy day fund and will also rely on federal dollars.
Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers today announced additional cuts to millions of dollars in state spending. Evers has directed the Department of Administration to work with state agencies to identify $250 million in cost saving for the current fiscal year. Officials say its effort to ensure the state is in a stronger position to weather revenue impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic, while also ensuring critical services remain accessible to Wisconsin residents. Earlier this summer, $70 million was also cut from state spending.
Duluth School's new superintendent is sharing his goals for his first 100 days on the job. Superintendent John Magus presented his three-phase plan to the school board last night. During Phase 1, Magus will focus on building relationships, reviewing student achievement and financial data, and looking into the district's needs. Phase 2 will emphasize academic excellence, education equity, and building cohesive leadership teams. In Phase 3, he'll work with the school board and community to create a strategic plan for Duluth Public Schools. Magus also emphasizes the importance of preparing staff, families, and students for school in the fall. He says that includes detailed planning for in-person, enhanced distance learning, or hybrid of both. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, how a local food shelf is helping hundreds of families in need.
The Doppler right now shows the sky clearing around our region. I'll talk about how long it'll stay that way before our next chance for severe weather comes to call.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live, local, CBS 3 Duluth.
Extended one more week. Home Furniture has put everything on sale, and you can finance it free for 6 years. Plus, get free no-contact shipping. Shop in the store or online. 6 years, no interest, ends Sunday. Only at Home Furniture.
Hello, Northland. It's good to see you.
During this time, staying healthy might look a little bit different.
But we're still here to care for you.
St. Luke's now offers new ways for you to see us.
Like telehealth video visits, which is how I'm talking to you right now.
If you do need to be seen in person, you can rest assured
We are keeping our clinics and hospitals clean and safe.
If you have any questions
or want to make an appointment,
give us a call.
We'll be happy to
help.
Save big money in your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Castlebrook architectural shingles have a super wide format that installs faster and easier. Available in 7 colors, just $19.99 per bundle after 11% off. Timbercrest premium double 4-inch siding is 15% thicker than standard vinyl siding and has a limited lifetime warranty. $6.22 per piece after 11% off. Start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
When the Kubota arrives, the workday gets easier.
No one serves you better than Duluth Implement.
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you're going to think about, it's not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
Now at Home Sleep Express, get no interest financing for 6 years on any Beauty Rest. Plus, free delivery, setup, and a 120-day guarantee. Beauty Rest Pocketed Coil Spring supports body shape and diffuses partners' movements. 6-year financing on Beauty Rest. Now at Home Sleep Express.
On the next Game On. Don't worry, Venus's serve clocks in at 129 miles per hour.
Whose idea was that?
From Man with the Plan, Kevin Nealon, NFL Hall of Famer. I'm the host. Ready, set, go! In the last round, there was a lot of cheating. I like to lose. What is the score so far? It is still 0-0. Okay. Game On. New episode tonight, 9/8 Central on CBS.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, let's take a look at the stats here for today. Another day cooler than normal. High temp of 67 undercuts the norm by about 10. As early as tomorrow, we'll get ever so close to the normal here. Some towns may actually hit 77. But once we get into the weekend, there's a slight chance some places away from the lake could start to threaten the record. 95 degrees for this day from 1941. Indeed, the warm spell returns for the weekend, and that'll also help egg on another chance for severe weather that could start Friday night and last until Sunday morning. We'll show you the timeline on that in just a bit. Right now, of course, we'll show you those current conditions at the airport in Duluth. 66 degrees. Yeah, nice break from the warm spell. Some folks are really enjoying this. 65% is the relative humidity. And that wind, it's easterly, southeasterly, 8 miles per hour. High barometric pressure reading at 1,019 millibars. Low temperature reading indeed for the Upper Peninsula, only 61 in Ironwood. Gets better towards Ashland, 66. We drop a couple degrees both for Hayward and Solon Springs, though. Go back to 66 once you get towards Superior and Oliver. 70 Moose Lake and Barnum. 68 Two Harbors. Only 62 by the lake. Grand Marais, 73 Ely. That's where it's getting a little bit sunnier. The clouds are thinning out a little more rapidly in the northwestern parts of our region here. So yeah, we're looking at 70s for Hibbing and Grand Rapids International Falls as well. Tomorrow's high temperatures, yeah, getting pretty close to normal again, which would be mid to upper 70s. It's Friday when we start to cross back towards the regime of the warm spell, perhaps even a heat wave. Warm, humid, and stormy Friday night through a good portion of Sunday. Right now, though, it's calm, it's not overly hot, and it's not that humid either. We're looking at clearer sky in Minnesota, and that's starting to push its way into Wisconsin and the UP as well. And that's because high pressure is taking over the region. And I think that high pressure cell will dominate our weather through Thursday, making it sunny and dry. But it's Friday, the day of change, when the new low from the west comes aboard. Thunder chances roll in by Friday night. The clouds become mostly cloudy in our sky. And the rain chance could go upwards of 50–60%, especially on Saturday. And yes, embedded in this latest go-around could be some more severe storms and some soaking rains. We'll have to watch out for that until Sunday afternoon. It starts to clear up and cool down once again. Okay, forecast here for tonight. It's going to be a bit on the cool side for July standards. Upper 40s possible up north. Lower 50s right by Lake Superior. Partly cloudy sky for Minnesota. Partly cloudy as well for Wisconsin and the UP, with low temps there running a narrow range of 49 to 51. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, getting closer to normal, 73 to 77, with a clear to partly cloudy sky. Minnesotans will bask in the sunshine as well, get 60s by the lake, and about 74 to 80 farther inland. Swinging towards the 7-day forecast here, we see the clouds go up along with the temperatures on Friday. Mid to upper 80s for the Twin Ports Saturday and Sunday, 90 possible inland, and 30 to 50, even 60% chances for the storms. And again, Anthony and Kirsten and Kelly, it could be on the strong side there during the weekend. We'll have to be ready to seek shelter. And of course, the CBS3 weather team will burn the midnight oil again like we did last Friday night.
As always. Thanks, Dave. Well, here's a look at the aftermath as several confirmed tornadoes blew through Chippewa County, Wisconsin overnight. Trees were blocking roadways and power lines were down across the village of Cadott, not far from Eau Claire. So far, no injuries or missing people have been reported. Authorities are asking volunteers to help with cleanup.
A man died and a woman is in the hospital after a bad crash early this morning. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, it happened just after 3 a.m. on Highway 2 near Proctor. Authorities say 29-year-old Jesse Mullner of Duluth crossed the center line and hit a logging truck head-on. He died in the crash. His passenger, 28-year-old Natasha Richard of Proctor, has life-threatening injuries. Neither were wearing seatbelts. The driver of the truck was not hurt.
The Ashland County Sheriff's Department is mourning one of their own. Authorities say Deputy Dylan Wegner died Saturday. The 27-year-old was killed in a UTV crash southeast of Mellon while off duty. Sheriff's officials say he had served the department for 3 years, adding that he will be sorely missed.
At one point this morning, the line to pick up free food in Ashland stretched more than a mile long. Second Harvest National Food Bank held its 7th mobile food distribution today. The food bank hoped to hand out food boxes to 725 families filled with cheese, meat, and produce. Anyone could take part regardless of income or where they lived. Organizers say the need has been overwhelming during the pandemic.
So I think that, there's a lot of need. There's a lot of people who are just trying to stock up, whether they've lost their job or aren't working right now, just really trying to find whatever resources they can to make sure they can make ends meet.
Second Harvest plans to have more distributions through August and might extend the program into the fall. We'll update you as they schedule more dates. They're also looking for volunteers and people to spread the word.
Coming up in sports, could the NFL preseason be in jeopardy? Kelly tells us coming up next.
Northwest Outlet is open for business. Now save up to 40% off store-wide.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Applying for Social Security disability? Get help. Call the law office of Robert Hoagland, the largest disability law firm in Minnesota. A Social Security attorney will meet with you by phone or at an office location near you. No fees unless we win.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you low prices and better choices.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes, and as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is wholly words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing? Or
it absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Social Security benefits denied? Get help. Call the law office of Robert Hoagland, the largest disability law firm in Minnesota. A Social Security attorney will meet with you by phone or at an office location near you. No fees unless we win.
Play ball. I've been waiting months to say those words, as I'm sure you have as well if you're a baseball fan. Here's an update on the baseball being played down in Chicago at this very moment. The Cubs currently lead the Twins in a spring training quote-unquote game, 3-0. Anthony Rizzo got it going with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. We'll have highlights tonight at 10 p.m. Now, according to multiple reports, the NFL Players Association has told its members there will be no preseason games this year. Both the NFL Network and USA Today are reporting the union sent the message to their members sometime yesterday. It coincides with reports the league offered to scrap the exhibition games on Monday. Former Greyhound Phil Bolu wanted to play pro hockey so bad that he said he would play anywhere. Today, his dream finally came true as Bolu signed a one-year contract with the Iowa Wild of the AHL, the minor league affiliate of his home state team, the Minnesota Wild. The All-American at Northern Michigan capped off a 4-year career this past winter in which he tallied 25 points for the Wildcats. Bolu says he had other offers from teams in other states and overseas, but felt Iowa was the best fit for him personally.
It's a very prestigious organization. Obviously, obviously Minnesota's been in the playoffs the last few years.
Iowa Wild's had a very strong team the last few years as well. Same with the East Coast League team, All-Americans, which I could be as well. So they have a very good thing going right now, which is great for me because, I want to go in there and play for a good team because you can't have individual success if you don't have a good team behind you. So I'm very excited about that.
He added he's expected to report to camp in either late November or early December. In UMD alum news, former Bulldog forward Billy Exel has a new pro deal. Exel re-signed with the Wichita Thunder in the ECHL, the same club he was with last season. That's a direct affiliate of the Edmonton Oilers. The Thunder Bay, Ontario native finished last season in Kansas with 24 points in 50 games played and was a key contributor on Wichita's penalty kill. During his time at UMD, Exel helped the Bulldogs to those back-to-back national championships. And it's back to hockey for the Minnesota Wild up in their NHL bubble. The first time we'll get to see the team hit the ice for competitive hockey is at this time next week. The Wild get one exhibition game with their playoff rival Vancouver next Wednesday. Up in Edmonton, the team has been in the NHL bubble for the most of July. Now it's been a long time since this team has seen the ice for a game, but the last time they did, it was certainly a hot stretch coming toward the end. They had won 6 out of their final 7 before the season was cut short, following an overtime victory against the Anaheim Ducks.
Start here in our practice. We gotta compete with each other, make each other work just as hard as we can, and push each other to get better every day, and just get back to that compete level we had, and to do our best every day. And I think that's what we're gonna have to do to reach where we were before the break.
That's going to do it for sports at 6. We'll have more here tonight at 10. Kristen and Tony, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kelly. Well, you won't have to suppress your state fair food cravings this year after all.
Yeah, today organizers of the canceled Great Minnesota Get-Together announced a state fair food parade. That's something I can get behind. The event is happening on the state fairgrounds in the Twin Cities over 3 different weekends in August and September. They described it as a drive-through featuring 16 vendors. Some of those include turkey to go, mouthtrap cheese curds, pronto pups, and the famous Sweet Martha's cookies. You have to buy a $20 ticket to take part. They go on sale July 31st.
Just give me the ear of corn. That's all I care about.
Ooh, everything sounds good right now.
Dave,
Yeah,
sunny day on
doesn't
tap for tomorrow?
Yes, for tomorrow it will be on tap. Let's get a look at the 7-day. As high pressure settles in tonight, we'll clear the sky and start to slowly warm things back up after a 2D cool snap here after a 3-week-long warm spell. 73 will be Thursday's high temp. Normal is 77, but we beat that again by Friday. Then it gets warm and humid and potentially stormy Friday night through Saturday morning, or Sunday morning actually, followed by a splitting of the difference. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunnier skies and highs near 80.
All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again at 10.